Welcome to Live Smart. Good morning, all. Who will cry when you die? Part 10. Chapters 91 to 101. 91. Rewrite your life story. One of the most wonderful things about time is the fact that you cannot waste it in advance. No matter how much time you have squandered in the past, the next star that comes your way will be perfect, unspoiled and ready for you to make the very best of it. No matter what has happened to you in the past, your future is spotless. Realize that every dawn brings with it the corresponding opportunity to begin a completely new life. If you so choose, tomorrow can be the day that you start getting up earlier, reading more, exercising, eating well and worrying less. As author Ashley Brilliant has observed, at any moment I could start being more of the person I dreamed to be, but which moment should I choose? No one is stopping you from opening your journal and, on a blank page, rewriting the story of your life. This very minute, you can decide the way you would like it to unfold, change the central characters, and create a new ending. The only question is, will you choose to do so? Remember, it is never too late to become the person you have always wanted to be. 92. Plant a tree. According to ancient Eastern thinking, to live a fulfilling life, you must do 3 things: have a son, write a book, and plant a tree. By doing so, the thinking goes, you will have 3 legacies that will live on long after you die. While there are clearly many more elements of a happy and complete life, I would add the joy of having a daughter to the list. The idea of planting a tree is an excellent one. Watching a tree grow from a sapling into a tall oak will keep you connected with the daily passage of time and the cycles of nature. Just as the tree grows and matures, so too will you be able to mark your personal passages and growth as a human being. If you have children, you might also wish to plant a tree in honor of each of them. As they grow, you can carve notches on the trunk to mark their different ages. Each tree then becomes a living record of a different life stage. Planting a tree for each child in your family is a wonderful and creative act of love, and one that your kids will remember for many years to come. 93. Find your place of peace. Everyone needs a sanctuary or a place of peace where they can go to be quiet and still. This special place will serve as your oasis in a world of stress. It will be a spot where you can take refuge from the crush of daily activities that demand your time, energy, and attention. Your sanctuary does not need to be fancy. An unused bedroom or a corner of an apartment with some freshly cut flowers on the table will do nicely. Even a wooden bench in your favorite park can serve as your place of peace. When you feel you need some time alone, visit this sanctuary and do some of those inner development activities that are so easy to neglect during the course of a busy day. Write in your journal or listen to a soothing piece of classic music. Close your eyes and visualize your ideal day. Read deeply from that book your mother always told you to read, or from a book of wisdom. Or simply do nothing for 30 minutes and let the renewing power of solitude take hold. Carving out a little time for yourself is not a selfish act. Replenishing your inner reserves allows you to give more, do more, and be more for others. Making the time to care for your mind and spirit will keep you balanced, enthusiastic, and youthful. And as L.F. Phelan once said, youth is not a time of life, it is a state of mind. People grow old only by deserting their ideals and by outgrowing the consciousness of youth. Years wrinkle the skin, but to give up enthusiasm wrinkles the soul. You are as old as your doubt, your fear, and your despair. The way to keep young is to keep your faith young. Keep your self-confidence young. Keep your hope young. 94. Take more pictures. Every life is worth living. And given this, Every life is worth recording. So often a friend will tell me about a breathtaking sight on a recent vacation or something hilarious his child did at the Christmas concert or about someone famous he has met. Did you get it on film? I ask. I'd love to see the photo. Next time, comes the reply. I didn't have time to pick up a new role. But let me try and describe what happened to you. A picture truly is worth 1,000 words. Photographs capture and record life's greatest memories so that we can relive them as the years go by. As I grew up, my father constantly took pictures of our family. Whether it was a family picnic, the first time I took his car out for a spin, or a simple gathering with friends, he was there taking pictures. Often, while he asked us to smile for the camera, I would grow impatient and gently ask him to take the photo quickly. You don't need to take so many photos, Dad, I would say. What are we going to do with them all? Well now, as the years have quietly slipped by, I know what to do with all those photos. They have gone into albums that form part of the story of life's passage. They provide my own children with endless hours of amusement and offer our entire family a wonderful way to reflect on the simple things that have meant so much to us. Take more pictures. Record the best times of your life. Collect photographs of the things that have made you smile or cry or appreciate the many blessings this world provides. Always carry a disposable camera in your car and in your luggage when you travel. You might be surprised how good you will feel when you go through your albums years from now. 95. Be an adventurer. Teachers are climbing mountains. Entrepreneurs are flying hot air balloons. Grandmothers are completing marathons and homemakers are taking up karate. The more routine our lives become, the greater our need to fill them with some real adventures. The more obligations that beg for our attention, the more important it becomes to shed those shackles of complacency and send our hearts soaring through some brave new pursuit. Man must not allow the clock and the calendar to blind him to the fact that each moment of his life is a miracle and a mystery, wrote British novelist H.G. Wells. To connect more deeply to the miracles and the mysteries of your own life, vow to restore the spirit of adventure that you once knew as a child. Make a list of 12 pursuits you know would bring a greater sense of passion and energy to your normally mundane routine and tackle one of them every month for the next year. Doing so is a highly effective way to reinvent the way you live. 96. Decompress before you go home. After a day of stress and pressure at the office, most of us arrive home cranky, tired and dispirited. We gave the best we had to our colleagues and customers and, sadly, we have nothing left for the people we love the most, our spouses, children and friends. Like gladiators who have just completed the battle of their lives, we wearily walk to our favorite easy chair and order family members to leave us alone until we regain our composure. Taking 10 minutes to decompress before you walk through the front door of your home will help you to avoid making this scenario a part of your daily routine. Rather than leaving work, driving home and rushing into your house, I recommend that you spend a few minutes sitting alone in your car while parked in the driveway. Use this time to relax and reflect on what you would like to accomplish during the next few hours with your family. Remind yourself how much your partner and children need you and how many fun things you can do if you simply put your mind to it. To further decompress, you could go for a quick walk around the block or listen to a favorite piece of classical music before you open the door and greet your family. Be creative about your personal decompression time and treat it as a chance to renew and recharge so you are the person your family wants you to be when you greet them. 97. Respect your instincts. It is easy not to listen to what the Quakers call the still, small voice within, that inner guide that is your personal source of wisdom. It is often difficult to march to your own drum beat and listen to your instincts when the world around you pressures you to conform to its dictates. Yet, to find the fulfillment and abundance you seek, you must listen to those hunches and feelings that come to you when you most need them. As I grow older, I give far greater respect to my instincts and to the natural reservoir of intuition that slumbers within each one of us. The impressions I receive when I first meet a new person, or that inner sense of wisdom that softly nudges me in the right direction during a trying time, have come to play a larger part in the way I work and live. It seems that with age comes the corresponding ability to trust your own instincts. I have also found that my personal instincts grow stronger when I am living on purpose, that is to say, spending my days on activities that advance me along the path to my legacy. When you are doing the right things and living the way nature intended you to live, abilities you were not aware you had become engaged, and you liberate the fullness of the person you really are. As the Indian philosopher Patanjali eloquently wrote, when you are inspired by some great purpose, some extraordinary project, all of your thoughts break their bonds, your mind transcends limitations, your consciousness expands in every direction, and you find yourself in a new, great and wonderful world. Dormant forces, faculties and talents become alive, and you discover yourself to be a greater person by far than you ever dreamed yourself to be. 98. Collect quotes that inspire you. If you have read The Monk Who Sold His Ferrari or any of my other books, you know that I love using quotations from the world's great thinkers. I never knew why I loved these as much as I do until one of my mentors, after reading a manuscript I'd written, said, "You love quotations for the same reason I do, Robin." A great quote contains a wealth of wisdom in a single line. So often in my readings, I come across just the right quote, which contains the ideal answer to a challenge I am facing. And my mentor was right. The value of a great quote does lie in the fact that it contains a world of wisdom, wisdom that may have taken the author many years to arrive at, in a line or two. Over the next few weeks, start your own collection of quotations, words that you can keep referring to when you need some instant inspiration or advice about how to deal with those curves life sometimes sends our way. Another effective way that I use quotes is to paste them in places where I know I will see them throughout the day, such as on my bathroom mirror, on the refrigerator door, on the dashboard of my car, and throughout my office. This simple discipline keeps me focused on what's essential during busy times, positive during trying times, and centered on the principles of real success. On my personal computer, I have now collected hundreds of quotes from great leaders, thinkers, poets and philosophers on subjects such as how to deal with adversity, the meaning of life, the value of self-improvement, the importance of helping others, the power of our thoughts and the need for a strong character. 99. Love your work. One of the timeless secrets to a long, happy life is to love your work. The golden thread running through the lives of history's most satisfied people is that they all loved what they did for a living. When psychologist Vera John Steiner interviewed 100 creative people, she found they all had one thing in common: an intense passion for their work. Spending your days doing work that you find rewarding, intellectually challenges, and fun will do more than all the spa vacations in the world to keep your spirits high and your heart engaged. Thomas Edison, a man who recorded 1,093 patents in his lifetime, ranging from the phonographs, the incandescent light bulb, and the microphone to the movies, had this to say about his brilliant career at the end of his life: "I never did a day's work in my life, it was all fun." When you love your job, you discover you will never have to work another day in your life. Your work will be play and the hours will slip away as quickly as they came. As novelist James Michener wrote, "The master in the art of living makes little distinction between his work and his play, his labor and his leisure, his mind and his body, his information and his recreation, his life and his religion. He hardly knows which is which. He simply pursues his vision of excellence at whatever he does, leaving others to decide whether he is working or playing. To him, he is always doing both." 100. Selflessly serve. Albert Schweitzer said, "There is no higher religion than human service. To work for the common good is the greatest creed." And the ancient Chinese believed that a little fragrance always clings to the hand that gives you roses. One of the greatest lessons for a highly fulfilling life is to rise from a life spent chasing success to one dedicated to finding significance. And the best way to create significance is to ask yourself one simple question: how may I serve? All great leaders, thinkers and humanitarians have abandoned selfish lives for selfless lives and, in doing so, found all the happiness, abundance and satisfaction they desired. They have all understood that all-important truth of humanity: you cannot pursue success, success ensues. It flows as the unintended but inevitable by-product of a life spent serving people and adding value to the world. Mahatma Gandhi understood the service ethic better than most. In one memorable story from his life, he was traveling across India by train. As he left the car he had been riding in, one of his shoes fell to a place on the tracks well beyond his reach. Rather than worrying about getting it back, he did something that startled his traveling companions. He removed his other shoe and threw it to where the first one rested. When asked why he did this, Gandhi smiled and replied, "Now the poor soul who finds the first one will have a pair he can wear." 101. Live fully so you can die happy. Most people don't discover what life is all about until just before they die. While we are young, we spend our days striving and keeping up with social expectations. We are so busy chasing life's big pleasures that we miss out on the little ones, like dancing barefoot in a park on a rainy day with our kids, or planting a rose garden, or watching the sun come up. We live in an age where we have conquered the highest of mountains but have yet to master ourselves. We have taller buildings but shorter tempers, more possessions but less happiness, fuller minds but emptier lives. Do not wait until you are on your deathbed to realize the meaning of life and the precious role you have to play within it. All too often, people attempt to live their lives backwards. They spend their days striving to get the things that will make them happy rather than having the wisdom to realize that happiness is not a place you reach but a state you create. Happiness and a life of deep fulfillment come when you commit yourself, from the very core of your soul, to spending your highest human talents on a purpose that makes a difference in others' lives. When all the clutter is stripped away from your life, its true meaning will become clear: to live for something more than yourself. Stated simply, the purpose of life is a life of purpose. Thank you for watching. Please like, share and subscribe.